today's video, we're going to be taking a look at how to change this beat blown out sky that I took in Rome and fix it up to look something like this. We've got our media in. We're going to do shift space. We're going to add a tracker node. That's the first place we got to start to add the sky. So we are going to go back to frame 1, make sure we're on frame 1. I think it's a good habit. I don't know why, I just like to do it. We're going to take our IntelliTrack window and I'm going to use this horse's ears right here. It's a ton of contrast and it should have no trouble following along. We're going to pop up into the inspector and hit track forward. Let the computer do its magic. And sweet. So that seems to have done a pretty decent job. Let's go into operation in the inspector again. And right now it's set to none. So if you leave it that way, literally nothing is going to happen. So we need to take this and drop it down to match move. Now that that's selected, we're going to grab our blue sky element that we have in our media pool. It's literally just a still image of a nice blue sky with some puffy white clouds. We're going to connect that to our tracker and we see it pop up. Let's hit play. We can see the movement is going along with our handheld camera movement, so we're in pretty good shape there. Let's go back to frame 1. We're going to hit shift space again. We're going to add a transform XF and we're going to increase the size and we're going to overshoot the borders a little bit because as we hit play here, you can see it's going to jiggle around and it's going to maybe, see a little overlappage there. So we need to bring this up just a little bit more so you have some safety on the edges. That seems to be doing okay. Next thing we're going to do is I can tell that the sky background here is way too colorful. It's clearly been graded or whatever, and our original footage is super washed out and it was shot in a flat color profile. Good grief, can't talk today. So next thing I'm going to do is add a color corrector to this sky background. We're going to do shift space again, search color corrector, I'm going to add that in there. We're going to take the saturation way down until it looks more like a flat color profile. We can actually take our gamma, lift that up to overexpose it ever so slightly. And we're also going to take this lift and blow it out even more, just so that it matches the overall tone and is much closer to the original footage because we're going to color grade that later. So that's looking pretty good. Next thing we're going to have to do is copy and paste our original footage. We're going to grab both of these, hold shift and drag it to the right and pop it back in the timeline. Let's rearrange this a little bit. Okay, so here's our footage and we need to remove the sky from our duplicate footage. We're going to do shift space. We're going to do a Luma keyer. And we are going to start messing with these sliders here in the inspector. I know that we're going to have to invert this. And we can see a lot of our building is also being deleted, so we're really going to need to be careful with what we get rid of. Let's bring some of our building back. There we go. That's not too bad. That's looking pretty good, actually. If you want to double check what you're actually doing with this Luma keyer, there's these two little bubbles down here, and you can click the right one underneath of it, and that'll show you the exact mask of effect of what the Luma keyer is doing. So we can see we've got a little bit of the original still left in there, but I think that's going to be okay. We could push it a little harder to get rid of more of that, but it starts to eat away at the building, and I just don't want to deal with such a complicated masking process later. We can also, if we zoom in a little bit, check out that edge is kind of crummy looking, so let's just give it the slightest amount of a blur just to soften it up a little bit. Something like that should be fine. Okay, so I'm seeing that our horses got some stuff cut out of them. There's still some stuff missing in the building. This one's actually pretty challenging because the values of this building are so close to the sky. It was a very white, like bright marble kind of, stone building. So we're gonna have to do a little bit of a mask. So let's actually go back to our typical view. We're gonna drop in a polygon. We're gonna put it right next to our Luma keyer. We're gonna connect it to the Luma keyer, which will just pretty much mask everything and show us our original footage again. So what we're gonna need to do with this polygon mask is, in order to have it animate with the tracking data, we need to connect it first. Don't draw any masking and then connect it to your tracker, because it's going to literally shift its position completely to where the tracker was. So you need to do that ahead of time. So we're going to jump in here and we're going to deselect this node about shape animation and turn that off. And then we are going to, I'm going to go back to frame 1. I think that's a good habit. We're going to right click right here in the center XY. We're going to right click on that and do connect to tracker. What does that say? IntelliTrack 1 position. Now our mask will be tracking along with our original tracking data and make our lives a lot easier. So we can now start drawing a mask. We're going to do a quick, rough, nothing special. Most of our edges were pretty good. There was just some stuff kind of coming through in the center of the building that I noticed. Whoa, 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 whoa. Gonna back her up. Okay. In the center of the building. So I'm just going to do a pretty quick, at least as quick as I can. We can definitely take as much time as you want doing this, but for this video's purposes, I'm just going to do it as fast as I can. Cool. So let's back out a little bit and let's hit play. As we can see, our mask is tracking along pretty well with our tracking data. So I think we'll be in okay shape there. So what we're going to do is, with this mask closed off, if we hit invert, we're going to see that our sky comes back in, because we're only blocking out this, telling it not to do the Luma keyer inside where we drew the mask. All right, so let's see where we're at. Let's press, let's do number 2. Let's take a look at that. That's not looking too bad. I think that's very believable, although we still have some work to do. We're going to add another color corrector now. We're going to pop this into the end of our chain here so that we're correcting the entirety of all the work we just did. We're going to come into operation and we're going to hit, in the inspector again, we're going to hit pre-divide, post-multiply. I'm going to go back to our color corrector. And let's just bring down the lift a little bit till our blacks start looking nice and rich. That looks pretty good there. Let's give her some saturation. Maybe like a 1.4 area. Looking pretty good. And I think we could even bring the gamma down just a touch. We're left with a pretty beautiful image. And I'm just going to double check here. Sometimes the tracking data on the polygon can tend to slip a little bit. It gets you most of the way there, but sometimes there's a little bit of slippage. Oh, right there, right at the end. See this peeking through? So what we can do here is come back into the polygon node and just manually click and drag that back into position. And that'll add an animation to it to prevent that slippage from happening. Yeah, little slippage there. Let's go back out. Good grief. Let's back up here. Take a check. Look at that. I'm not seeing anything too weird there, and for the purpose of this video, I think it looks just fine. Let's go back and check out our review. Nice. From A to B, I'd say that's pretty much finished, and I think it's a massive improvement and a quick and simple, easy sky replacement on some previously unusable footage. So that's about it for this one. If you liked it, please consider liking and subscribing, or giving us a thumbs up, or even leaving a comment. We like to respond to everybody, and building a little community here of visual effects people. There's lots of questions, and we love hearing from you guys. So we'll see you in the next one.